driving through Key Marco. It's a gated community, gated neighborhood filled with extremely rich houses with what has to be extremely rich people living in them. But everything we're riding on right now, this was formerly known as Horr's Island, and before that, this was a significant Calusa population center. We are riding right now through and on top of mounds, middens, etc., built 3,000 years ago over, however many years worth of time it would have taken them to build these things. But this was an extensive complex. Archaeologists who have done a lot of work out here over the decades have concluded that this was a place of great significance, population center. They would have had extensive mounds, but not only mounds, but causeways more or less leading to the mounds. So these people would have lived way, way, way above sea level, and their homes would have been on top of sea level. They had houses that would have held many hundreds of people on top of some of these middens. As you can see as we're going up and down, there's nothing left except for this one mound that we found up here that hasn't been either destroyed or just built on top of. I would imagine that the people who live in these homes have no idea of what they're living on. It's almost a crime to have built homes on this land. It's just, this was a historically significant place, not just for the Indians, but for every one of us who have come after. That, the fact that we don't know more about the history of the people who lived in these lands before us, and all we do is just build gigantic houses on top of it. The only reason why we're going up and down now is because of these mounds. These people built these mounds above sea level. Now we're dropping a little, then we can raise up a little, we drop a little. I'm not sure what they would have done in the lower areas. They probably would have done some cooking or something like that, or maybe the ones who didn't have the wherewithal to build their own pretty big mounds and houses on top of it. Maybe they lived in the bottom areas, but the top areas would have been where the chiefs lived and that sort of thing. And I'm sure when the floods came, everybody was up on top, and probably at nighttime it would have been much breezier to be on top. None of these trees would have been here back in those days. Every one of these trees would have been gone. It would have been a place of just people living their lives, eating their shellfish, harvesting their shellfish. Hunting. They probably would have fished massively. I mean, fishing would have been a huge part of their lives. And where we are now, we're probably about 50 miles north of Fakahatchee Island, and many of those islands, the smaller islands in those areas, were also built by and inhabited by the Calusa people. So here we go again. We're on another mound area, going back into a valley area. So you really, this is almost a caricature type video. You really aren't getting any kind of real idea of what it would have been like even 100 years ago or 150 years ago to come out here and see these shell mounds and see where people lived thousands of years ago who were wiped out essentially by the Spanish, European diseases that the Spanish brought. And later this area would have been inhabited to some degree by the Seminole. But the mounds and the civilization, the people that lived here would have been every bit as extensive for this area in a microcosm as say the Aztecs or the Incas or something like that. A very highly organized, highly intelligent society of people, obviously industrious builders. To have built these mounds, it would have taken many hundreds of years to build these mounds, and they would have had to remain not only organized but focused on that goal. It wasn't something that that they just let go. It was passed down from chief to chief and people to people, just like the Aztecs, just like the Egyptians, just like any other builder civilization that would have inhabited an area and then lived there over millennia. So in any event, though, just try to give a little bit of an idea, because we wanted to show that this is the Horr's Island archaeological site, but we didn't really realize that it would be like it is. I mean, grassed over with houses everywhere, but this is it. This is the spot. So for now, we're gonna pack it up, go get some lunch, and maybe call it a weekend. But we're out.